So here's another beer can chicken recipe that we do a lot, and a lot of people have asked us. You have 2 or 3, 4, 5. I forget how many we have right now. Beer can recipes on our website on antlerdreamer.com. But here's one that I kind of like to do. Pretty spicy. It's not for everybody, but it's a little bit different than what you see on YouTube and with recipes. Got your whole chicken, Tabasco sauce, olive oil spray, Coors Light, which I'm going to get into in a second, and then butt rub. So butt rub is a spice we used to cook all the time. It's got cayenne pepper, jalapenos, salt, and paprika pepper in it. Buy it online. I'm a huge fan of butt rub. I don't make any money off of butt rub. I'm just letting you know. I think it's the best thing to cook with on the grill. So what we do is we basically we take our chicken. It's a whole chicken. It's been thawed out. We took out all the guts, etc. It's ready to go. We cook our we preheat the grill about 400 degrees. We make sure that it's more or less cleaned off. We got a little bit of residue there on the bottom, but cleaned it off. We put it on high. The cool thing that we always do, not everybody does this, we always have a smoke box. That's what we call it. It's wood chips that have been soaked in water, pretty dried out right now. They'll start smoking shortly. Put them in there. I just show that to you just for visual. We're going to close that cover, let them smoke a little bit. It adds a lot more flavor. Essentially what we do is we take the olive oil spray. Before we put it on the grill, we always spray it as much as we can, top and bottom. We'll spray it a little bit more once we get it turned up. Make sure you keep your grill nice and warm. The reason why I use Coors Light. Why do I use Coors Light? A Coors Light can is a little bit taller, and I think it's easier to insert inside the beer, or insert the can inside the chicken easier, so that the beer dissipates out of the backside of the chicken once it's standing up. I think it's just easier to use. I don't use the fancy little beer can stands. That's just my choice. But I always spray it with olive oil. Open the beer, insert it into the chicken, stand it up, and then we get the seasoning going. So I'm going to stand it up in the grill, and then we'll go from there. So we've got the can in the beer. Just shove it in there. Then you spread the legs out. Get it nice and spaced out. The key to the first 30 minutes of cooking this, I think, truly is that you want your smoke box to smoke if you use one. It just adds to the flavor, and you can already see where the smoke is starting to come out of the back of this thing, but give it another 10 minutes, it'll go crazy. You can even pour some of the beer on top of the wood chips. It helps out tremendously. And then make sure you spray the chicken really well. Now be careful, because you don't want this to go on the flame, because if you do that, it's going to flame up and could cause an injury. But you want to coat the chicken really well. And then what I do is I take just straight up Tabasco sauce, and I just start squirting it all over the chicken. Inside, Tabasco's not expensive, so be as liberal as you want, but this is kind of a spicy recipe. So you kind of coat it. Got a nice kind of wet chicken, and then I take the butt rub, and I just kind of spread it around. This stuff is not cheap, so, well, it's not expensive either, but get it nice and coated. This is all you're looking for. You want the can to get hot. You want your smoke box to smoke. You can see the smoke going. So I always keep the left side on medium to high. Medium to high. I turn this one off. And this is the burner that is right above the chicken. And then the one that's on the right hand side is on low. So you have the indirect heat. You've got the smoke going. You shut her down. Got nice good spices going. It's got a nice sturdy stand. It's not going anywhere. We're already down to 200 degrees, but this will pop up to 350 to 400, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But leave it there. Don't open it for 25 to 30 minutes. Let it smoke. It's not going to burn. Even if it does, it's not a big deal. So we're about 20 minutes into cooking time. I don't know if you can see the smoke, but it is pouring out of the side portals here. It doesn't come up too well on the camera. We're at like 550, which is a little bit hotter than I want. So I'm going to turn these down all the way to low, except for the left one. That's where the smoke box is. Everything else, this is off. That's on low, and that's exactly what you want right there. You got your wood chip smoking. You've got a nice, slow kind of caramelization happening here. And this is the key right here with beer can chicken. You want to see this hole right here have smoke coming out of the top, just like that. That white smoke right there is what you're looking for. That is the beer boiling inside the can, smoking out of the top. That's perfect. Got your smoke box going. Got a nice flame on the left side, indirect heat. Typically what I do here is I'll pour a little bit more Tabasco on here. I'll get it a little bit wet again. And then I'll take, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want. Nice smoke, nice heat. And you put a little bit more of the butt rub on here. Just kind of spread it around. And then you're going to shut her down. Nice smoke. This is perfect. Let it cook for about 20 more minutes. We'll check back. So here's the 3/4 way cook check-in. It's about 500 degrees. We've got our left burner almost on high. This one's on low. This one's off. This one's on low. And this is exactly the way you want this thing to look. You got your smoke box still smoking, but most importantly, you have the beer smoking out of the center. You can kind of see the smoke. You've got it doesn't matter if this looks black. Everyone freaks out when they do beer can chicken because they go, I burnt it. This is not burnt. What this is the seasoning on top. It's kind of crusting the top of the skin. Most people don't eat the skin anyway, so quite frankly you shouldn't anyway because it's not healthy for you, but you want this right here. This white smoke coming out of the top here. That is the beer moisturizing, boiling. You want to have, this is perfect. What you don't want, this is what's important, is you don't want these to be burnt. If these are burnt, that's too much heat right here on these burners. You want to see the smoke coming out of the top, just like this. Nice caramelization on the top. It's okay, because most people, and you should, throw this away. You just want to keep this moisture coming up. So what we're going to do, it's been cooking for about 40 minutes. Like I told you, we were almost 500 degrees. I lifted off for a minute and a half on this video. We're already down to just over 250. So keep your burners where it's at. I'm going to turn this one off. Keep the smoke box side going. Indirect heat going on this side. And we're going to cook for about 10 more minutes. And then we're done. And we're just at an hour of cooking, which is perfect. This chicken was completely thawed out. It's going to be awesome. Nice, moist, completely cooked. Incredible flavor. So here's the final product of the spicy Tabasco beer can chicken. This is exactly what you want. A lot of people don't understand that when you do this, this is what the final product looks like. You've got the smoke coming out of the top. The beer is still boiling. You do have a kind of a black caramelization on the skin. But this is exactly what you want. It's cooked for a little over an hour and 10 minutes at between 450 and 500 degrees. What you don't want, this is why I make these videos, you don't want these things to be burnt. You don't want the legs. You want this part to have a nice caramelization. If you noticed from the previous beginning of the videos, this smoke box is smoking like crazy. If you open it up, you'll notice all of the wood chips are burnt now, which is perfect. Which means they've done their job. They've smoked the meat. They've got nice flavor. So this is what you're looking for. Take it off. Be very, very careful. That beer in there is extremely hot. If you got nice, moist chicken, enjoy it. And thanks for watching.